The best mobiles are probably those that mimic things that really fly, like birds and insects. And here's how you make that one, out of nothing much more sophisticated than cardboard cartons. Start with one that has a long side, and on that long side, draw a wing that is as long as you can make it within reason. Something like that. A very simple wing is all you have to do. Cut it out, and you'll get this sort of shape. Now, one wing's no good to a bird, you need two. So turn the carton round, put that on there, and draw exactly around its outside and cut exactly round the drawing. And you'll get two wings that are exactly the same. And that, of course, is a good start. Here they are. If you're cunning, you'll make the writing on the underneath. That's the top side. Now, pointing them towards you, you can see that that's the way the bird is going to fly, but it needs a body in between. And we make the body in a special way. Again, another carton will produce a cutout. But notice that the cutout has a flat back. That's important. And the wing hinges on in that sort of way so that the wing, when it's fully up, can't foul the head or the tail. The flat back and the straight part of it is just wide enough to accommodate the wing. The wing can beat up and down. And make the tail and the head the same size so the thing isn't out of balance. Now that's all we have to do for cutting out, almost all. We'll come to another body a bit later. But we have to weight the thing because these are a fairly heavy mobile, otherwise they'll just flap up and down and be still. And we have to weight it by putting something out at the tip of the wings. Use the underneath. Now these things are weighted with flat weights. Washers are good. Bits of foil from a wine bottle are good. Bits of old rusty iron. Doesn't matter what you use, as long as it's flat, it's reasonably heavy, and you put exactly the same weight in exactly the same place on both of the wings. I'm going to stay with the washers because I can easily count them and see what sort of weight I've used. Okay, we put one washer there and stick it down with tape, one washer there, stick it down with tape, and do exactly the same thing on the other wing in exactly the same place. One washer there and stick it down with tape, and the second washer just there. And those wings should be now perfectly in balance with the same weight out at the tip. Now, if the wings have to be weighted, so does the body. And the body has to have twice the weight of each of the wings. And since each wing had two washers, we'll put, I'd say, 3 or 4 on the body. Let's try it with 3, see how we go, because we can adjust it a bit later. Put them right underneath where the wings are going to be and right down at the bottom of the bird. And since they're in a line like that, I think I can get a piece of tape and stick them all down together. And I can trim off the tape or bend it over like that so it doesn't get in the way. And that's really the body of the bird weighted as much as we'd need it. Now it's going to look a bit funny like that, so the last bit of cutting you'd have to do would be to put that on a box, draw another one so that you can make a sandwich. 2 bits of cardboard with the weights in between, and it looks very neat indeed. If you stick that together with tape, you'll end up with a finished product like that, with the weights in between. Now we have to stick the whole thing together. And we put the bird like that and make sure we get the right wings. That's very important, otherwise it looks a bit peculiar. Well, in this case, we've got a bird's body with the wing flying like that, beating up and down. Make sure it's in the right position, push it right up above the head, turn the bird over and put it flat on a table. Let's clear the decks and I'll do that. And all you have to do there is to peel off a bit of tape that's the right size, stick it to the wing, and then stick it to the body, and that'll make a good hinge. Make sure that the wing can't hit the head or the tail as it goes up and down. There we are, that's the right wing on. Fold it down and turn the bird over. And do exactly the same thing on the other side. Piece of tape, cut to fit, stick it onto the body, stick it onto the wing, which is going to be in exactly the same place as the first one, and fold it down. And your wing on each side should balance like that. Now they can tear loose like that, so we put one last bit of tape over the top of the wings to hold them into position. Here we go. Put it on like that. On one wing, over the top, and onto the other. And that should hold it pretty firm, even if it beats up and down for quite some time. There we are. Weighted at the tips and weighted in the middle. Now I have to find the balance points. You can see by moving my fingers in and out that the bird will either collapse in the middle or shoot up in the middle with the wings falling down. And you find those with the bits of cardboard that you didn't use, bits from the box. This is a bit tricky, so I'll hold one between my knees like that, hold the bird up. An extra pair of hands wouldn't go amiss here, but if you can put them into that sort of position and move them in and out, you'll find that there is a point at which the whole bird just sits horizontally. There we are, we've found it about there. You mark those spots on the wings, and if I can just grip the cardboard in those positions, at each piece of the cardboard you make a notch. You mark them first, then we'll make the notches later. Balance is there, it'll be a notch there, 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 and there. And in fact, we can fold the wings together, and you should find those notches coincide. We can make two little V-cuts like this. Snip, there, and there, and snip at the back in exactly those positions too. And if we've done it right, that will mean that the bird, hung by those spots, will be in balance. What do we hang it with? String. Take two pieces of string, each one the same length from your fingertip to your fingertip with your arms outstretched, and bring the ends together, and in each loop tie a knot. That will give you two hoops of string, both the same size, and then you bring the bird back. Balance it between your knees, get the wings outstretched, and put one loop of string over one wing, and that goes into those notches that you've cut, like that. The other loop over the other wing to go into its notches. And if you've done it right, you should find that the whole thing is perfectly in balance. Those notches, of course, stop the string from sliding out to the end of the wings when the thing flies. We'll pick it up by those and let's see how we go. That's not bad. It's almost in balance, but I could add a tiny bit of weight to the bird's body to make it flat. When you hang it, though, make sure those strings are just above the notches and you'll get the best flight. All you have to do is to paint the bird and give it a push.